Hi everyone, back on Hitwicket, the number one game, right? It's just sort of zooming up to the top. I'm delighted to be part of it, but I'm even more delighted to welcome the winner of the Youth Championship 16. Right, what's his name? Karthik Mahalinge Gowda. Karthik, I have just been looking up what you've achieved, which is fantastic. I mean, I know you're a cricket nut and you like to see what people do on the cricket ground, but what you've achieved here in this youth challenges is quite fantastic too. But your team name, it's longish name with stars and numbers and everything.
Yeah, actually, since I'm a Bangalore boy, I wanted to choose a local name in Kannada. And also, the first two letters of VK is nothing but it translates to Virat Kohli as well, who is my favorite
That I
player.
guessed.
So,
That I guessed. All the
God,
stuff after the star, I guessed. VK18 is a giveaway. I mean, if you wanted to hide the fact that you're a Kohli fan, you could have done something else. And needless to say, you're an RCB fan.
yeah.
Yeah,
RCB.
hopefully they'll have a good season this year. What are you doing in Abu Dhabi? I'll ask you
I'm
about your cricket. I'll ask you about this tournament, but I read that you're in Abu Dhabi.
I'm working as an offshore structural engineer. We generally design platforms for oil and gas extraction in the sea. So basically, I'm working as a structural engineer from past 12 years.
So unlike me, you're a proper engineer. I only passed exams. You're a proper engineer.
Yeah, I'm a proper engineer.
Tell me about this youth challenge because I've been following it and it is a seriously difficult tournament to win. Did you when you started playing this? Have you been playing this for a little while now?
Yeah, I've been playing from YC10 onwards actually. So around six
Uh-huh.
YCs continuously.
And you've been qualifying almost every time, no, or every time?
Yeah, I've been qualifying into the top 20, 128 every time. First two times I lost in the top 128. Then YC 13 and 14 I made it back to back finals. Again I lost. Then YC 15 I won, and 16 also I won back to back. So yeah.
So now you're an expert on hit wicket.
No, not kind of an expert, but yeah, maybe can help for people asking some suggestions since we are
You have
having
to
an
win
alliance.
next year also, no? You have to win
Uh,
next challenge also, no?
yeah, the next challenge we have to we are planning on winning to
Yeah.
that. Let's see what
So tell
happens.
me one thing. Quite a few cricket games going around. Why did you choose? And you can be honest. Doesn't matter. We are all quite cool about it. Why did you choose hit wicket to
No,
play?
Almost 2 years back, when I was just searching for some engaging games based on cricket
Hmm.
on, so I just this game caught an eye for me, and just I was going through some reviews, and mostly everything was positive, and it was also given that best Prime Minister's app developer award. So I thought I'll try it, and once I tried it, like playing, and now here I am sitting as a youth champion talking to you, which is a dream come true for many people. So
Winning should be dream come true, not talking to me.
yeah, both. This is an added bonus for me. So yeah, sure.
Yeah, in a way, this hit wicket is a bit like how they play in Wimbledon. They start with 128. Here, to get into the 128 itself is a qualification. So I think each of the 128 who get in are actually good players, right? Because otherwise, out of one leg, you won't get into 128. But thereafter, it's a knockout format, no?
Yes,
So you have to know your opponent well. How did you analyze your opponent's strength, pick up your own strengths? How do you do that?
no, generally what happens is we don't get time to analyze our opponents once we are in top 128. We just get that 5 seconds time where we each other's team is shown on the screen before the match starts. In that 5
Five
seconds,
seconds.
in that five to
Yo.
six seconds, we have to just go through his players and guess what he can come up with, and strategize accordingly whether we are batting first or bowling first.
So, like you do when you're doing a GMAT or when you're doing something else, you play mock games. Can you actually play a mock game by analyzing the opponent and say, okay, if this is the kind of opponent, this is how I can play? Like they do in chess, for example. Can you almost do you simulate also?
Yeah, because the thing is we don't know, like even he will be having some special abilities, his players, and our
Naturally.
players will be having some special abilities. So sometimes we have to bluff. Even he will be bluffing, even I will be bluffing. So whoever bluffs the best, it's like a poker. In within the cricket, we are playing a poker
Mm.
game.
You watch it. You played a little bit cricket also on the ground when you were young.
Yeah,
You're still
actually,
young, but
my cricket journey actually started when I followed the '99 World Cup. I'm a huge Lance Klusner fan, and from
you
there
could
on,
not have followed the '99 World Cup. No chance. '99 World Cup was 25 years ago.
yeah, I am right now
I'm
37.
looking at you. You're how much?
37.
Okay, well done. Well done. You're looking a young 37. So then I can understand. I thought you were much younger. So tell me, reason I asked you about watching cricket. Can you pick up stuff from there
Mm.
into this game, or is it a completely different thing from your
Yeah,
point of view?
we can pick up some stuffs, like for example, maintaining the right hand left hand batting combo to just throw the bowler off the line. Then we have to know which
Mm.
bowler to bowl at which stage of the match, because we have 5 overs. So they tell no, like batters may win you matches, but bowlers will win you championships. So we
True.
I,
That is very
I
true.
generally very heavily on bowlers.
So you construct your team, you give strengths to your players, whatever, but you focus on bowling more than batting. And did that come in handy? I mean, you can plan, but when you're actually playing, say you went from 128 to 64 to 32, did the bowlers win you more games?
Yes, actually, as we progress along, the competition becomes more tougher, and generally in the finals and semi-finals, we don't get that huge scores, which we generally get during the starting of the qualifiers. So at that time, our bowlers will come in handy if we are having a good lineup. I remember in my semi-final match, it is a best of three series. The series was tied 1-1, and
Yes.
whoever was going through to the final. Then I batted first, then lost wickets, then somehow dragged my score to 49, which is a very low score when we compare to final or a semi-final,
So
because
how
it's
did you
just
drag your score to 49?
basically first 3 overs I lost 3-4 wickets, then only 20 odd runs. Then in last over I scored some runs and dragged it to 49. Then he had very premium players like Peri Peri and Storm, and I was playing with regular world class players. So then he scored and got off to a very good start. He was requiring a 28 of 18. Then what happened is I took a gamble and activated Hex, which negates runs. Luckily, he hit a six on that, which negated 6 runs from his. And finally, in the last over, he was requiring 33 of 12. But still, it was achievable since he had premium players. Then later on, he scored 22 runs, only 11 required of the last six. But somehow, and my bowler access was not filled. Only he had to miss 4 deliveries out of six in the last over. But again, somehow I managed to get him to miss it, and then finally I won by 4 runs on the last
So
ball.
tell me, when you say I managed to get him to miss it, even Bumrah might say that. How do you do that? What did
No,
you do to get him to miss?
there
Did
are
he play a
generally
wrong shot or did you choose correctly?
okay. It's a combination of both. Like we are having to generally we have two red balls, two green balls, and two orange balls. So the greener ones are the which easier to hit, and orange and red ones are difficult. So what I did is first two balls I bowled the orange, and he missed it. Then I bowled the green, he hit a six. Then again I bowled two reds, he missed. Then my hex was activated, and last ball, even though it was a green, it was of no use to him because my ability was activated. So that like that we overcame. Sometimes it is a gamble, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. For that we have to be lucky as well.
You understand Dhoni's captaincy a little better now after this.
Yeah. Yeah, actually in my alliance mates they call call me like you play like
Yeah.
him, like
What is this alliance that you talk about?
generally we form an alliance where there are around 60 to 90 people. We are
All
like
of you are playing Hitwicket.
yeah, all of us are playing it wicket, and like our alliance for example is all star team, which is shortly called as AST. So like this, so many alliances are there, and these people help us grow as a team, like from planning our resources for the YC, then gameplay, then strategizing it. So getting into a good alliance like AST will help a lot in conquering YC. Otherwise we will not be able to, because without player boosting it is very difficult to conquer it.
Just as people want to watch how does Virat go about things, how does Rohit go about, how does Bumrah practice, there'll be a lot of players in YC who want to know how you went about doing it. How did you prepare? How did you enter? What did you do? So, from that point
Yeah,
of view.
generally, the before getting into the top 128, there will be a qualifying round for around 2 weeks, where we have to win
Within
matches.
AST, that is.
Not within AST, for the
Okay.
whole 1 lakh plus people who are playing.
Yeah.
So yeah. So there will be a qualifying round which goes on for 2 weeks, and we have to win matches and come into the top 128 in that 2 week period window, and then after that the knockout start.
So how can people prepare? What tips would you give? Like people say, he cracked the CAT, he cracked GMAT, he cracked UPSC. What tips do you have? What tips would you give people who might be, not just beginners, but who've played a little bit?
Yeah, first thing is like we have to get into an alliance which is very strong.
Is that compulsory? Sole artist, sole player cannot practice?
Sole people can play, but in alliance what is there is that we boost players. Like for example, if the player power is 900, if we boost it goes to 9200 or 9300, that extra couple of hundreds will actually win us matches in the last overs or during batting or bowling. So generally, like it is an added advantage joining an alliance, and we have to save a lot of resources upfront before planning the YC. Then once we start have gathered all the players we require, then we start training them. So yeah, it is like 1 month process for you. Before YC we have to start it.
What I find amazing about all this is what Hitwicket is doing, not just for people like you who are now at the highest level, but for many others, it is a game of skill, it is a game of preparation. It also requires you to be tactically very astute. Like you said in their last over, how did you manage the greens and the oranges? The best thing about Hitwicket is that you don't have to be this physical athlete to go and do it on the ground, because you are also playing a cricket game that requires a lot of knowledge. Tactical skill. That's why.
Yeah, actually, as I it is very similar, no? Because the thing is we have to be competitive and as I told, it's a game within a game. Actually, this is more engaging since it is a virtual game. It will be more enjoying, and some special abilities and all will be there.
When do preparations for YC17 start?
YC17 already it has started the preparations. So
yeah.
Immediately as we get maybe after winning this the previous one, within next 1 week we start the preparation for the next YC.
Isn't it fantastic? All over the world, esports is booming literally, and I'm so happy that there is an Indian brand, an Indian company, an Indian brand that is at the forefront of esports in cricket. So that's fantastic. You must spread the word as well, because I'm much older than you, so I look at things a little differently. But for people like us who came through different times, to see Indian brands becoming the best in class is fantastic. So you must spread the word too. And you get people asking you, so what did you do? How did you win?
Yeah, plenty.
Like we are doing this interview, but yeah.
Plenty of even actually before starting, even I asked my alliance mates who were participating in YC, like how did you do, what kind of resources did you build up. So generally when after I became champion, people from other alliances also asked me like what is the mantra. So everything, yeah, that generally goes on.
So you're not like one cult figure among all YC players?
No, yeah, means winning back-to-back highlights it, but I'm not in that cult
winning
figure.
Back-to-back among 1 lakh players is damn good, no?
Yeah, it's very good and very satisfying actually.
So now your team VK18 has done well. What are your thoughts on actual week 18?
Actual week 18, yeah, like right
Are
now
you
is
enthusiastic? Are you worried? Are you excited?
we are actually I'm not worried because he knows he's a very good player and no, he has proved it over the period of time. So yeah, like the form is a concern now, but he'll come back strong in the next match hopefully.
I hope so too. I would love to. I would love to be on air when he comes back strongly and scores runs, because when he scores runs or when Rohit scores runs, but in your case, since you're a Virat fan, it lifts everybody else. If a
Yes.
young player doesn't score runs, it's okay because there are other players around. When a big player is not doing well, it brings the team down. But when a big player does well, just lifts everybody. So
Yes.
maybe he'll be our big player. Listen, good chatting with you. Good chatting with you. I wish you well for YC17. Spread the message about YC. Spread the message about Hitwicket. Let's together all make it the world's biggest and stay there. It should become a big global brand.
Yeah, sure. Sure, we will do that.
Yeah. Cheers.